Hi guys, welcome to my channel. My name's Arnaldo and this is Articulture. Today I have for you my whimsical concrete garden sculpture tutorial. And these are made from Dollar Tree molds. They're made from molds from the dollar store. So, I mean, look at these, how fun and how cute they are. So, seasonally at the dollar store, they bring in all these like plastic goods for, in this case, Easter, springtime. They have a lot of really cool molds that are available for you, and they're, you know, $1.25. And how great, you know, after for me, after making so many concrete sculptures and planters, pretty much everything I look at that's made of plastic, I think of it as a concrete mold. So I went in and I was just checking out what they had because, you know, it was Easter and spring, and for spring they bring a lot of planters as well, plastic planters, which can also be converted into concrete planters. And I just wanted to see what they had. So I walk in and I found, actually this dollar store only had like one left of this bunny, and I thought, oh my God, that's such a cool mold. So anyways, I purchased the one and then I went to a different dollar store and got an extra one just in case. So I'm gonna show you the steps and how you can use this mold to create these beautiful garden sculptures. And you know, these are awesome because they can be outside, they can be in any weather, and you know, it doesn't have to be because it's Easter or springtime. These are so cute. I mean, you can have these year round, obviously, and place them anywhere, inside with your plants or outside in the garden. So let me show you what you have to do when you find the mold. So the mold was created where it actually locks into place the two sides, but the ears had like a plastic here. So very simple. All you have to do is take some like a wire cutter is what I use, and I just cut an opening on both sides so that when you pour the concrete in, it will flow to the bottom of the mold and it will fill in the ear area and you'll be able to create the ears. So then the other thing that you have to do is you have to make a hole on the bottom so that you can pour the concrete in. I'll show you, this is how they come. They're completely sealed because they're supposed to be used to fill with candy for Easter for the kids. So what you do is and this one's already cracked, I've used it a few times. You have to cut an opening on both sides so you have just enough room to pour your concrete in. And if you do get a little crack or something like that, not a big deal. I've done it. All you do is you put a piece of tape, hold it in place, and it still works great. I've had it crack up here and I've still been able to use it a few times. So yeah, once you've done that and your mold is ready for pouring, what you have to do is, remember, you always have to use, I've shown it in my other tutorials, I use coconut oil. You do have to use an oil, just a little bit, just enough to allow for the concrete to pop out really easy. And especially with this one, since you have like some little details and stuff, you don't want the mold to stick to the concrete because you may damage the design. So you brush on a little bit of oil, brush it on both sides, and make sure you get into all the crevices and all of the details because it's going to facilitate the process so much more. So once you've done that, you put the mold pieces together, you pop them together, and then what you're going to do is you're going to tape it. You're going to tape all around, and I will show you when we go outside and I make one, I will show you the process of taping. So you tape it and then you turn it upside down, and what you have to do is you have to get this isn't the one I used, but you have to get a container that'll hold it in place, and I'll show you the one that I used outside as well. And then once you've got it secure, then you're going to start doing your pouring and mixing your pigments with your concrete to create your layering, like I did here. So what I thought in my mind was that this was like his little sweater, and I did the stripes for the sweater. And this one I put it in a bit of an angle, and I poured the ear to be in the black so that it would kind of have like a one ear, like a spot. So, and then I did the layering so it was like a black and white sweater. And I think they turned out really cute. So what you have to use is you have to use pigments to create the different layers and the different colors. So I use black iron oxide and titanium dioxide, which are mineral pigments, which work really, really great with your concrete. So mixing them in, you mix them in different levels. You put a little bit and you get a lighter color. You put more and you get a much more deep saturated color. And you can also mix the colors. You can mix the white with any of the colors to create a light shade. But yeah, you have fun with that. You choose the colors that you like, the colors that you want to use in your design for your sculpture. And also Home Depot has these by Quickcrete. They're liquid cement colors, and they come in a few different shades, and you can use those as well, and they work good too. So yeah, so now you have your pigments and you mix your concrete. So the concrete that I like to use, I use a self-leveling underlayment cement, underlayment concrete. So self-leveling underlayment concrete, what it is it's much better because it's really, really fine and it creates a really, really smooth finish. So it creates a smooth finish. It has a polymer in it that makes it much stronger than regular cement. So it makes it much stronger. It leaves a smooth finish and also super fast drying. So way faster than a regular concrete. So, and that's great when you're creating something that's multi-layering and you have to let it dry to let it set to do the next layer. The fact that it dries fast is really, really great. So what you do is you pour your first layer, let it dry. So since it's fast drying, you don't have to wait like 24 hours for the next layer. In 20 minutes, you can just touch it and see, depending on your area and what the weather is like. For me, I live in Florida, so it's really hot and dry, and it dries faster for me. So once you have your first layer set, that is firm to the touch. So as long as it's firm to the touch and you know that it can hold the next layer, you go ahead and mix up your next color and you pour the next layer. Wait another 20 minutes, do your next layer. And like that, you'll be able to finish your sculpture in a day easily. Let it set till the next day and then you pop it out of the mold, and that'll be the fun part, seeing how it looks when it comes out of the mold. So another suggestion that I have is if you're gonna be making more than one, since the molds are so inexpensive, or if you're gonna be working on multiple projects, I love to mix my cement and pour multiple projects at the same time. I highly recommend it because then you can get much more done and in a really fast pace. So yeah, these are what they turn out to, and I'm gonna show you the steps on how to create yours, and then and we'll be right back. Okay guys, so here I'm gonna show you where I do the brushing on of the oil. Make sure that when you brush the oil that you get it in all of the little crevices, especially around like the face area and the belly, because it has more detail, and you want to make sure that the concrete is able to go right into the detail of it and also able to pop out, and that you won't lose any of the design. You won't break any of it. So yeah, just a light coat is really all you need, but it really does help in the process of popping the concrete out. It makes it so much easier. Okay, so here I'm going to show you where I put it together and then tape it. You want to make sure that you tape it really securely, especially because the concrete is kind of heavy and you don't want any of it to come out of the sides, of the edges, because it would really also alter the design, and you don't want to do that. So yeah, I just use masking tape. Just the blue painter's tape will do fine, but any tape that you have is good. So then I just make sure that I get one spot done, and then I will actually tape the whole thing, but I do it in little portions because it makes sure that you get it right, because you don't want to like miss a spot and it be open. here I'm just gonna go ahead and mix the concrete. And you wanna mix it to a consistency that's good for pouring, but not too watery because it'll take too long to dry. And obviously not too thick because you definitely want it to be able to flow and pour easily into the mold. So I didn't want to make the video too long, so I'm really only going to show you the mixing of the concrete once because obviously you understand the process and you get it. You don't need to see it that many times. So yeah, just get the consistency right. After you do it a few times, it'll be much easier for you. And that's it. Now we go ahead and pour into the mold. And also with the pouring, I didn't want to make the video long, so I didn't show you obviously every layer because there's really no need. You understand the process. You pour in just as much as you want to get your layer, depending on the thickness that you want to do it. And then on this step, we're gonna go ahead and remove the tape. The concrete has already dried and hardened. At this point, it's really easy. Just remove the tape. And then we're gonna go ahead and get ready to remove it from the mold. So I would caution to be really careful with it. You don't want to break any of the detailing it, so I do it little by little. Then I take a screwdriver and I try to pry it open little by little, and you'll see that it starts loosening up. Once you get it going, then it'll pop out a lot faster and a lot easier. But yeah, the screwdriver helps a little bit. Just go around lightly and then just put into the little space and then turn it. And it just starts popping it. Starts popping it from the mold. And you'll see that process now. And there it is. It comes out. So cute with all the stripes. And there it is. Okay, so now here I'm gonna use the sanding blocks. The only part that's usually comes out rough is the edge in between where the two parts of the mold meet. And I use a higher grit sanding block, one that's a rougher one, to get that part, and then I'll use a finer grit. So actually, the blocks, I actually get those at the dollar store as well. So you can get those for $1.25. Much cheaper if you get them at Home Depot, or if you get them at your hardware store, you're gonna see that the price is like 3 or 4 times that. So definitely take advantage of getting those at the dollar store too. When I get them, I always buy a whole bunch and I have a good stock of them. And they're also easier to work with. The little sanding blocks are easier to hold and they're easier to work with for all your projects. Better than just the sandpaper itself. So yeah, just do the edges real good. And then I do the fine sandpaper to smoothen any little areas that may need it. But there it is, all done. Okay guys, so I hope you enjoyed the process of making your whimsical concrete sculpture for your garden. One more thing that you need to do is once you're done with your sculpture, you have to seal it. So Behr has a really wonderful concrete sealer. You definitely have to use a sealer, because especially to have them outside for the weather, but also not just because having them outside, but actually it leaves a much nicer finish. It also shows the colors much more saturated. When you do the sealer, the colors show through much nicer, and it leaves like a little bit of a shiny sheen to it. And the sculptures look much more finished, much more beautiful. So I hope that you had fun. I hope that you go to the dollar store and find fun molds that you can use and create sculptures with. I hope you enjoyed the process. Leave me comments below, like, comment, and subscribe. I hope you join me on my next tutorial, and thank you for watching.